A new court filing from former President Trump's legal team is making an unusual argument. The January 6th committee, in its legal fight for Trump's White House records, could cause lasting damage to the presidency. Here's part of their filing. Quote, the appellee's clear disdain for President Trump is leading them to a course of action that will result in permanent damage to the institution of the presidency, end quote. Let's discuss now with former White House ethics czar Norm Eisen. He also served as special counsel to the House Judiciary Committee during Trump's first impeachment trial. Norm, great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's talk about President Trump's legal team. They're making the case the January 6th committee could permanently damage the presidency. Do you see any legal merit to that claim?
Jessica, thanks for having me back. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And the permanent damage to the presidency that was done was when ex-President Trump incited an insurrection on January 6th to attack his own government. The disclosure that Congress is seeking here has the exact opposite effect, Jessica, of what Trump is arguing in his papers. As is so often the case, the truth is the opposite. Getting these documents out will advance the interests of the presidency by helping Congress to legislate and prevent this from ever happening again.
Right. And on Tuesday, a federal appeals court plans to hear legal arguments on the Trump administration's records, specifically whether it even has the authority to rule on Trump's effort to assert executive privilege here and essentially block their release. What do you see coming out of that?
Well, we only have one president at a time in the United States. This case, what will be heard by the D.C. Circuit, the appeals court this week, is really about the question of whether a former president can continue to have powers to block Congress from learning information about their time in office. And I think the law is clear, and the court will rule, no, ex-President Trump can't do that any more than he could take a portrait of George Washington or the Resolute desk out of the White House. He can't control these papers. That's up to Joe Biden. That's the critical issue, and Donald Trump is going to lose, as he's done so many times before in court.
And just to give people who are watching kind of a big picture view of all of this, Norm, how normal is it for this sort of legal activity to be going on? Obviously, the insurrection we've never seen before. President Trump did a bunch of things that we'd never seen before. But in terms of this legal argument that's playing out, what they're trying to do with these records, where does that fall kind of on the spectrum of what we have seen before? Or have we seen anything like this before?
Well, in one aspect, it's unprecedented. We've never seen a current president and a former president butt heads like this and disagree over the release of information. But just because nobody's ever argued it before doesn't mean it's a good argument, Jessica. There's a reason no one's ever tried it before. It's a dead loser. That brings us to the thing that we have seen over and over again, and that is Donald Trump bringing bogus, frivolous legal arguments to lose a series of court battles but win the war by delaying, as when I worked on the impeachment, and he stalled his losses in the court cases we brought. That is disturbingly normal, but it seems like he's not getting away with it here. The courts have been moving with lightning speed. Good thing for the sake of accountability and our democracy.
Right, and not letting that delay tactic work. All right, Norm Eisen, thanks so much, and happy Thanksgiving.